My interests growing up were singing. They were always singing and cooking. I started to sing loudly in my church choir, and then I sang in chorus in middle school and in high school and did musical theater. I played soccer, but then I quit that for theater.
I feel like I was always doing something with Michael, or playing a sport, or hanging with friends, or playing games. And I have very fond memories of every stage of it.
The cooking thing, my mom will tell you, was hard initially because I had no idea what I was doing. So I would bring leaves and berries and things I had found in the yard and put them in the blender because I wanted to see what happened to them. I made about 1,000 concoctions consisting of peanut butter. But I loved it. I've always loved it. But I would say, first and foremost, it was always music and singing.
You, being my mother, for those watching, forced me to do musical theater. I did not want to do it. I vividly remember it. So I was coerced into doing musical theater, and then I loved it. I did 4 years of JCC musicals. Was I good? No. Was it really fun? Yeah, it was a good time.
I was in, the first was, I was in Sound of Music, and then I did Schoolhouse Rock Live Junior, and then I did Beauty and the Beast, Music Man, and then my favorite was Seussical.
We both did Seussical. She was Maisie LeBird, I was Horton. I'm pretty sure she still knows all, if not all, most of her lines and her lyrics. I've forgotten the grand majority of my things, but she still got it. She has a far better voice than I do.
I met Eric on the dating app Tinder.
I went on Tinder because I was back in Pittsburgh and I was looking for a girlfriend. Is that a crime?
I had just moved to Pittsburgh. I didn't know anybody and I wanted to go on dates, essentially.
What caught my eye about her profile was, obviously she was super cute. Beyond that, she had, there was a genuineness about her that I didn't see in a lot of other profiles. She didn't seem like she was putting on some facade or anything like that to present herself.
I went on very not great dates and almost did not go on the date with Eric, and I called my sister and said, I'm tired of doing this. I get dressed up, I go, we chat, it ends. And then she said, just go, you're already dressed, you're headed out the door, why wouldn't you go? And so I went.
She was one of the first, and she was obviously the most successful of them. Let's put it that way.
After chatting for a week on Tinder of these very positive, lovely things of Eric telling me where to go and how to have fun in Pittsburgh and what to eat, I walked into Franctuary. It was trivia night at a hot dog restaurant, and Eric was sitting there and being perfect.
The romantic that I am, I took her to a hot dog restaurant for our first date.
I had never been to the restaurant before. I had never been to really any restaurant in Pittsburgh, so I said to the hostess, hi, I'm here on a date. And she said, I think it's that guy over there, and points to sweet Eric, sitting in a green sweater, khakis and Adidas. I remember the whole thing.
I remember she was wearing a floral raincoat. Yes. And I thought she was even cuter in person. That's for sure.
I was a little late. Eric made a joke about it immediately.
We had 2 hot dogs each and some fries, and we chatted the whole night through. Had a fantastic time.
He was in that moment as well, just very friendly and funny and just talks. So there's never moments where you're like sitting there wondering if you're doing the right thing.
We were clicking. The conversation was flowing. There were never any dull moments. We were making each other laugh.
I'm horrific at trivia. I don't know any of the answers. And it still was perfect. It still was so great.
We kissed at the end of the night. Just an all-around success.
I remember all of it.
First, it went super well. Well enough that I decided to recreate it when I proposed to her. Well, Sanctuary doesn't take reservations, so I just called and asked them to set aside that same table for me, which they were happy to do.
He was wearing the same outfit. We were sitting at the same table.
And I enlisted the help of a friend of mine from Pitt. While we were eating dinner, I had this friend decorate the place where we had our first kiss with all these pictures and candles and this book that I had made. And so that was all taken care of while I was eating. So it magically was there when we left dinner to go back to our car.
There on the stoop was heart cutouts with pictures of us, and 1,000 candles, and a book that he had made.
Initially, she thought it was just a Valentine's Day thing, because this was on Valentine's Day. And she thought it was cute, like, oh, he did this little thing for Valentine's Day, and she's flipping through this book, and she's looking at the pictures, and then she gets to the last page of the book, and the last page of the book is like a segue into a proposal, unmistakably so.
And he was standing behind me, and I got to the last page, and it essentially says, and Eric is wondering if Kathleen will make him the happiest man alive. And Eric just goes, Kathleen. And I start sobbing. And he was down on one knee with a pretty ring and a blue velvet box and said the sweetest things to me. And I hyperventilated through the whole thing and told him, yes, of course, I'll marry you. We like to go to new cities. He humors me and lets me try all the food there, but he likes to go to new cities with me, walk around, see everything, even if it means 8 cities in 8 days.
We have gone to Seattle, Chicago, Philly, New Orleans, camping in Quebec, Southern California, Italy, and Annapolis to visit her parents several times. I love her parents. They're super fun. They're loud, and I mean that in a good way. Not annoying loud, like fun loud. They know it. You guys know it. They'll be the first to admit it. They're loud, but they're really fun. They've done a fantastic job of making me feel very welcome and accepted in their family. So they're great.
The new house that we bought is old. It is old and it is beautiful. It is this 90-year-old house in Squirrel Hill. We are the 3rd owner of this house. And the people who had been there before us had been there for 70 years and 20 years, and there weren't many updates in between. And so it has curved archways and original hardwood floors, but it also had peeling floral wallpaper and lead paint, and but it is really cute. It's really cute, and it has an expansive front porch with a view, and you sit in the trees and feel like you're in a forest, and I like it a lot. Basil. We got the most rambunctious pit bull puppy. She is insane, and Eric loves her more than probably anything on the planet. As do I. She's wild, but she is the most insanely loving creature that I've ever met. So much so that she doesn't know where to put it, so it just comes out of her mouth. But yeah, we got her when she was 3 months old, and she's about to be 2, so yeah, she's sweet. I think in the setting of grad school, we just our like to do things together is relief of sitting in each other's company for a minute and not doing other things and just laughing about something. He'll find something funny to do. And we do a lot of that recently.
I think she's hilarious. We make each other laugh. She thinks I'm funny, which is obviously a win. When she puts her clothes in the laundry, she puts them inside out because she's taken them off and they're inside out. And so then when I end up folding the clothes, it takes me twice as long as I should because all of her articles of clothing need to be turned back the right side. Whereas if she just did it like I did it, where I take the clothes off and they're already the way they should be, then it saves you time on the back end. I've tried to teach her this and she can't do it. So what are you gonna do? No, it didn't take me that long to realize that I was in love with her. It took me longer to say it than it did for me to realize it, which she will happily let you know. But no, it didn't take me long to realize it.
I love everything about her.
She has by far the best heart of anyone that I've ever known. She cares fiercely about doing what's right and being kind to people and being fair and making sure that everybody feels wanted and welcomed and loved.
I told some friends right after we got engaged that okay, sorry. Being with Eric is like being in a really, 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 really cold car in the winter, and then all of a sudden the heat kicks in. And everything feels better.
The way that she loves her nieces and nephews, the way that she treats her patients at Children's Hospital, there's just a warmth and a nurturing aspect to her that's very, very appealing to me.
He cares about people, and he does it in a way that isn't holier than thou. He just knows what the right thing is to do, and he'll do it, and he does it easily.
She's wicked smart. Hearing her talk about medical stuff or analyze things that are happening in people's lives physically or psychologically makes me feel like I can't keep up with her sometimes, which I love.
He's the lightest person in the world. He's so happy. And it is inspirational. It is so good, and he is so uplifting, and he is so funny. And it's contagious, and he's good at everything, and he is just marvelous.
I think she just makes me just more of a good person because she's such a good person, and when I look at her, I think about how I need to be better because she's so good.
He's also going to be the world's most fantastic dad. And you can see that immediately when you meet him. And that's huge. What I vision ahead for the two of us is being a family unit. I'm so excited to be a family unit. I am excited to take things on with Eric. He's going to, of course, excel at his PhD and be a fantastic professor. I have no idea what I'm going to do with my MB degree. Stay tuned on that.
I definitely see a very warm, nurturing, happy household.
I want to have a bucket of kids.
See lots of laughter, lots of fun trips, lots of gardening, lots of time with Basil and future dogs. Sorry, Basil.
I don't think I've had to worry too much about what it looks like in the future because I just know him and I know that it's always going to be fine and good, and so I haven't had to paint this picture. I think that we just exist together and do our best to be good people.